Spotify. Alright, now you're probably gonna hear echoes. Tell me. No, that's normal. It has to. Right. I need to hear myself right now, so I can see what it sounds like. Right. Microphone is so touchy as far as just capturing every single sound. And you could turn up the gain a little bit, maybe. There we go. Maybe that'll fix it. And I got it closer to me now, so hopefully a little bit more. Can I? Ooh. No, I know. It's just I'm trying to. It's like I'm trying to get to so you don't hear so much like background noise. Oh, there we go. I think that should help. Maybe this will help. Let me see. Whoa! That did not help. Yeah, that's not helping at all. Oh, here we go. Let's change this around a little bit. See if this helps things. I mean, it makes a little bassier, but I think that should be good. What if I turn this up a little bit, just a little bit, to -30? Oh, that's a little too loud. Maybe. Oh. 32. It's. Oh, there we go. Maybe if I could take it right there. All right, maybe that'll be good enough. Cause problem is if I, yeah, you can hear me. Every time I touch the table, you can hear it, and that's frustrating. Okay, well, I want to get it to the point where I can't hear the table anymore. I mean, I can do that. The quality is probably not as good, but I can always try it and see if that works. Yeah. I had to think about that. Maybe I can. Let me see. Yes. I don't think I... This... Well, you know what I could do? Let me... Be right back. Alright, now it'll be better. See, the thing is, it needs a little bit of shock. Oh god, that's so loud. If I set it on a towel, it makes no difference whatsoever. It's less loud, I think, versus... Yeah, whatever. Let's see here. Alright. if that makes a difference. Testing, testing. Oh, that makes me sound far away. There we go. See if that makes it. Ooh. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, test. That sounds the same. Testing, testing. I actually think I like it best on this one. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't put my headphones on. If you're talking to me, I can't hear you. There we go. Hi. I forgot to put my headphone back in so I could hear you. Oh, really? What were you saying? Okay. Let's see. So the gate's too high right now because there's definitely words that I'm saying that aren't transmitting either. So I'm going to turn the gate down just a little. What if what? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's what a mic arm is for. But you wouldn't be able to hear me, I don't think. Unless, let's see here. Maybe if I do a little bit. Although, the mic is pretty heavy, so. Let's see here. You know, the thing is, though, is you still don't. Wow, you can hear a lot of stuff then. Let's see. All right. I mean, I guess that's just the sound of the table. Let me hold on. I mean, I'm literally knocking on it, so you know that's not even a vibration thing. That's more of a just that's the sound that the table makes thing. Yeah, right. Yeah, a little bit though. But... Alright, let me adjust this. I put it back down on the table because it made it actually harder to hear. I guess you've probably never seen like a freshly opened box like that before. There's the instruction manual. All the instructions. And you know what? I should go grab brother, or not brother, but it's before. Here we go. So I'm gonna have him sitting back here for now. Do you usually mute me in you usually mute me somewhere. Gotcha. Alright. Alright. Close all this stuff. That. Making Gundams. Let's start opening this stuff up. Gundam drop. Gundams. Now, if I was going to paint this, which I still could technically, but if I was planning on opening this and painting it right away, I would want to wash these actually. Because when they print these out in Japan, they use a sort of like oil or grease or something like that to make the plastic slide out of the molds better. That actually is kind of like paint resistant. So no, you don't paint on the runners. You paint it kind of like piece by piece. So once you technically like the normal work process for building one of these things is you put it together first, and then you go ahead and check like, all right, what parts do I want to paint and stuff like that, right? And then once you've kind of decided like, all right, I'm going to paint these parts this color, these parts this color, then you disassemble it and kind of put everything aside that you want to paint. And then you kind of make a work process. All right, these parts are going to be blue, these parts are going to be red, and you kind of set those aside. All right, blue parts, red parts, and everything. And then when you start painting, then you have everything ready to go. And kind of like, all right, I'm going to paint red parts today. Okay, right. And technically, you can prime everything to start with, but so now I read something the other day that so my nippers here, the nippers, I just read something today that you're not supposed to use this brand with plastic, with clear plastic, and this is a clear plastic right here. So, but I don't have. Well, these nippers specifically, I probably can't get it too close, so you can. Well, maybe it'll focus a little bit. Oh, wrong side. The blade on it is super thin. I did. Yeah. It's like super duper thin and very, very breakable. So, because these are what you call single bladed nippers is what they are. So like this side here is flat. There's no blade on it. This side has the blade on it. So that way it gives it kind of like a smooth kind of like cut through. But these are also like undeniably like the best nippers in the world. Like there's no other brand that makes better ones than this one. And these are the best ones of the brand, so. I'm not sure. I think I've read somewhere that, well, first off, clear plastic is way harder then yes, exactly. Yeah, I guess I didn't get that. I didn't say that right. Yeah, it has more to do with damaging the nippers than it does have to do with damaging the plastic. Yeah, like, well, yeah, if you look up here, like the very first instruction is to get E16, E17. And now if you look, you can't see, but it does, like if you're looking at a runner like this, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and so on. So you're looking at it and you can find what you're looking for by kind of just like numerical order when you're looking at it. Like, so I needed P16 and 17, so 16 and 17 is over here because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know. So 16 and 17 were over here. So I think it's just more about like, all right, what is the easiest way to make a runner and print it effectively? Hey, white plastic, my favorite. Oh no! Spring fell out. Which is not a big deal. But I do want to get another set of like sturdy nippers. Well, actually, I do have another set. I have these ones here that are okay, but they don't cut super well. I like to get a thicker set of single edge nippers is what I want, but I will do that at some point. Like, do they sell tools for Gundams at any of the conventions? That's a, you know, honestly, I don't know, because that's true. Because the thing is like the best tools are mostly from Japan. Well, yeah, the best tools, the best paints, they're almost all from Japan. So, right. You know, well, last year I almost went to an anime con just to see what they had there. And I didn't because I actually talked to some people that had gone to that specific convention, and a lot of them were saying actually like anime cons really aren't really good places to find Gunpla. Actually, it's more your normal kind of weeby stuff there. Like, I could find a Gundam body pillow before I could find a Gundam model. Yeah, so if I wanted a really sexy body pillow of Hero Yui, I could get that, but not so much. Not much tools. Well, definitely not tools. I mean, I was just asking about Gunpla at the time. Let alone tools, definitely not. But the nice part is so there's a hobby shop in a nearby town that actually is really good about, like, they hired a guy to basically be in charge of the like the Gunpla section. And he's the guy who started getting them to import like Mr. Color and God Hand and like all the brands that that are supposed to be like the best brands. I think it's been it's been very successful. They actually do every Sunday, I think it is, or every other Sunday, they do a Gunpla build night where they let people go to the shop and just build for the whole night. Just a bunch of people together building models. I hate clear plastic. It's the worst. So hard not to scuff. I don't know if there's going to be a C2E2 next year. Because, I mean, just because of the way it is. I mean, okay, so like we were looking at the Toronto convention, right? And like they were talking about how, okay, well, this year what we're going to do is we're just going to limit how many tickets there's going to be. And we're going to make sure that there's less booths and try to separate everyone. So, I mean, if you went that way, it's possible that they could do C2E2 this year. But I don't know. It seems unlikely. Right. So it would be tough. It would be tough, I think, financially to kind of like justify having a big, huge convention like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wonder about other countries. You know what I mean? Like, what are other countries that are like in a better position? Like, are they even talking about having conventions? I doubt it. Really doubt it. Right, but that's what I'm saying though, is like even if somehow we were going to try to start having conventions and stuff like that, again, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I mean, things are going to go back to being more strict anyway. I mean, that's probably definitely going to happen with Biden winning. He's probably going to mandate some like mask stuff and everything. Assuming that no, right now it's more of like a state by state thing. It's like, oh, well, I mean, in Illinois is actually one of the more oops. I didn't realize that I should have been paying attention to which one was 16 and which one was 17. Illinois is one of the more strict states when it comes to corona protection and everything. But even then, it's still not. Like, there's no state that's like super strict. The big problem is that nobody took it seriously to start with, and then it got worse, and now it's going to be harder to get rid of because nobody took it seriously to begin with. That's my impression anyway. Well, yeah, you have the entire South that still thinks it's like a myth and stuff, so. Political Gundam talk. I mean, they did try to do stuff like that at the beginning. Like, they were restricting interstate travel, so. But I think that stopped a long time ago. Where is 22? Here it is. I can't wait. I can't wait to, because this is still, so this is the high grade still. So the first high grade we made was the unicorn. And then this is going to be what's called the Unicorn in Destroy mode. And so in the actual Gundam show where this thing is on, this one turns into the one I'm building now. What's going to be fun is when I'm done with this one, I'm going to do what's called the real grade version of it, which actually, it's only one model and you can change it back and forth between the two different versions of it. And then after that, I'm going to do master grade version of it, which also does the same thing and is like a little bit more detailed, a little bit more bigger. But that's the plan overall. Is I kind of want to show each kind of version of Gundam models and like kind of the complexity to build each kind by doing basically the same Gundam 4 different times. So you can really see like the difference between like, oh, this is what a high grade versus a real grade versus a master grade. And maybe someday I'll get a perfect grade, because perfect grades are expensive. But they're really neat. They're really, really neat. They usually come with like LEDs and like all sorts of like light up stuff. And actually they just came out with they came out with something called the Master Grade EX. And the first one that they made with it is the Unicorn. And what they are is they're master grades with LEDs and stuff, like all the cool stuff that comes with a perfect grade. Like they added into this specific master grade, which is really cool. The other thing too that I really like about it is well, like, okay, so the difference is like, okay, so these are high grade, right? High grades are 1/144th of the size of what the real Unicorn would be, right? A master grade is 1/100th. So it's closer, it's bigger. Perfect grade, if I remember correctly. Well, the high grades would be 144 times. It would be 144 times bigger. A master grade would be 100 times bigger. And if I remember correctly, perfect grades are 1/160. No, it would literally that means like if you had 144 of these and then stacked them up on top of each other. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. They're definitely no, that's definitely not true. I can't stack 44 of these and it's a size. That's interesting. I wonder how this scaling works then, because I never even put the math together to think about that before, but you're right. What is that? I don't know what icon that is. Where's my mouse? There it is. I don't know what that is. It looks like Borat. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the chat, so. That's actually my buddy. My buddy. It was his birthday this week too. No, that was Matt. Matt had his birthday. It goes like in the same week too. It's crazy. Yeah, see? And then Matt's was on the 9th. Or is on the 9th. Today's the 8th. But, and then mine is on the 11th. I don't think so. It will be nice having Wednesday. Will be nice. No. I wish hopefully I wish that there were like more places open up to go to dinner at right now. I don't know. There's part of me that would want to go back to the Indian place that I went for my one birthday. That was so good, and I've never... I don't think I've had Indian food since then. Well, the old thing that I used to do was on my birthday, I would try to get dinner from some place that served food from a country that I've never had food from before. So I've probably had Turkish food though, right? What's hummus? Hummus is Turkish, right? Mediterranean, yeah. I've definitely had Greek food before. Although I don't know if I've ever had like authentic Greek food. That's like me saying I've had Chinese food and then being like, yeah, I've had General Tso's, that counts. What is Ethiopian food? So it's kind of similar to like how you eat like naan and stuff like that, or not? Do I say that right? Is it naan or nan or... Not. Very nice. We can do Borat jokes again because he's popular again. There we go. Oh, dude, that looks really good. What? Okay, I see a lot of veggies and stuff. What else is that? Is it just like bean paste and stuff? I see. That's the thing. Is like, I always say like I could never go vegan, but like, right. And that's the thing is I think just because like our culture isn't very good at being vegan, we don't have a lot of like delicious vegan foods. Whereas like it seems like other cultures are really good at like taking beans and stuff and making them delicious. Yeah, end up just getting like a Lou Malnati's pizza instead. Maybe I'll get a vegan Lou Malnati's pizza. I won't. There's no way I would have a pizza with... Why would I ever get a pizza without meat on it? What is wrong with me? You gotta get all the sausage. You gotta get all the... You gotta get the sausage. Yeah, that was really good. I don't even remember what I got on it, because I remember I tried to like chill out on it, because usually I put like a lot of meat and stuff on it, but I tried to chill out because I was like, I didn't want to go crazy. Oh. What's that? Yeah, well, I did the whole Taste of Chicago thing. Except for it wasn't the Taste of Chicago, it was Chicago sample platter? What was it? Oh yeah, right. Well, we had pizza the one night, and then we had it was Chicago hot dogs, and it was Italian sausage, Chicago hot dog, pizza puff, yeah. I don't remember. There it is. Next time I'll just get wings, just wings the whole time. If it's still there, it might have gotten destroyed in the riots. That poor girl. Well, aren't you Instagram buddies with her? Smooth. Very smooth. Is there a girl that works there? I'm sure they'd figure that one out real quick. Is there a girl? Yeah, I know. That was crazy. Next time you go there. Maybe she'd forget that she ever met you and give you the discount again. You made my whole day. Who are you again? But she was cool. She was really cool. I don't need candy though. All the candy you need for the week. Hard to shave this down without making it look bad. What are you shaving? Dash. You don't have a mustache. No Shave November. No. We'll see. It gets so itchy. Ugh. Supporting me. Itchy all month. Uh-huh. That's not how that works. Alright. Oh, okay. How is this? Like this? Oh, it is. Where does it go? Oh, I see. I'll make that piece twice, actually. You know, actually, it's kind of funny because I've actually made a version of this model in the past before, too. No. Well, like, I'll show you, for example, in just a second here. So, I'm gonna pull this piece out here. Pretty sure I'm right about this. This right here is the exact same runner that I used on that one. Because the legs aren't going to change, so some of them are. Obviously, I didn't have all this clear plastic to deal with on them. I actually really enjoyed making this one because since most of his pieces are white, they don't really require a lot of cleanup. And this one does require a lot of cleanup, but still not too bad. Could be a lot worse. Like that one I showed you, the bound dock. The one that you said looked like a beetle. If you looked at that one, like there's no white on it at all. It's all pretty like really like crazy garish looking colors. Wait a minute, I just realized something. Check something. Oh yeah, that thing is gonna be if I want to, because you know, really you can put as much effort into it as you want to. It would be It's gonna probably be a pain in the neck because it's gonna require a lot of sanding to make it look smooth. Here we go. That's what I need. I need 18. Favorite board game? Favorite board game? Monopoly. Only person in the world. I like Monopoly more than most people, so that's why I say that, because nobody likes Monopoly. Yeah, nobody likes Monopoly. The problem is I think the problem is that people don't like Monopoly because A, they don't play it right, and B, since people don't play it right, you end up having a lot more money than you're supposed to for most of the game, which means the game basically like never ends. It just takes forever to play. If people played Monopoly with the actual rules, the games would be much shorter. But you know, everyone always does like, oh, you gotta put money in free parking, you gotta like they make it, a lot of people play by rules that they think are the real rules. Like, did you know that you're not supposed to put money in free parking? There's the one area of the board that's called free parking, where it's just like nothing happens on free parking. Like it's like the one spot on the board where there's nothing, like there's nothing that happens on it. And most people that I know who play it, they always have this rule where it's like if you land on free parking, you collect all the money from I can't remember, like getting out of jail. I don't know. There's something that you land on that takes money away from you. And all that money supposedly goes to free parking. And then if you land on free parking, you get all the money yeah, that's not a real rule. That's something that was made up. And it's something that gives a player a lot of money all of a sudden. Usually it's like all of a sudden, oh, I have like $500 now that I didn't have before. Yeah. If there was a Gundam video game, maybe I would play that. Yeah, I know. I know there is like a Gundam video game that's like really, it's actually really, really bad. But one of the things that's part of it is like you collect Gundams in the game, and then after you collect them, you can go into like a paint area and customize them and stuff. It's like you could totally tell that they're like, oh, these Gunpla people are gonna want to customize their Gundams. I've heard people like that buy that game and then test color schemes to see if they like them. So when they paint their Gundams, that's the thing, is like I don't think I have the imagination to do that, honestly. Like that's not like I have an imagination, but for coming up with a new color scheme for something, I don't have that kind of like creative I don't have that creativity. I mean, yeah, I'm not. I don't
think I have a very artistic eye, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think like art is my well, I shouldn't say art because art is a lot of different things, but like painting, drawing, that's yeah, no, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to argue about creativity or anything. I'm just saying that that's not, I don't think that that's my skill set. That's all I'm saying. I found some of those things I enjoy doing, and I'm not too bad at them. Like I've told you before, I'm okay at charcoal drawings, but even my charcoal drawings are abstract, I guess you'd say, but they look good. Like, in my opinion, they look good for being abstract. They're very moody, I'll put it that way. Yeah, I wish I still had them. I had them in a notebook and I threw it. You know, it's not super important or anything. It's just something that I remember doing it and like being pretty proud of how it turned out, you know. No, it was like in art classes and stuff like that. And like we did a bunch of different kind of art in the art class, and I wasn't particularly good at any of them. I would probably be an okay storyboard artist, because storyboard, I mean, different story. Okay. Well, storyboard artists are so wildly different in what they do, because I've seen storyboard artists who will literally like draw a whole story with a comic book, basically. That's incredible. That's incredible. But I feel like I'm okay at doing simple drawings that purvey movement and action, versus like detailed. Like, I could never be like a comic book artist, but trying to draw something that like that looks that shows like, oh, and then this guy does like a roundhouse kick or something like that. Like, I can draw what I think that movement looks like, you know. And I think it conveys it really well. And the reason I say that is because when I was a kid, I used to draw stick figure comic books, and like that was one of the things was just like I remember drawing stick figure comic books and being like people would look at them and like, even though the drawings were bad, like they conveyed like the action very well, if that makes sense, because a lot of them were just like fighting, like people fighting each other. Oh man, I used to have it was you know what it was actually called? It was no shtick? No. I mean, you're flying around the right area though. Like you started off in the right. You're so close. You're close. No. But you're close. Stickman the man. So, I mean, you're literally circling around it, and you don't. No. Think of a comic. Yes. Yeah, I was like, think about it. It was a comic book. What am I gonna call it? Oh yeah, it was about. It was literally just a stick man in a cape, and he was just Superman basically. And and he would fly around and he would fight enemies. And I'd have to come up with new crazy looking stick people for him to fight. I remember there was a mad scientist stick that was always trying to come up with new monsters to fight Stickman. And had a little what's it called? This is not right. What did I cut out? Sorry. I just realized I cut a piece off something that I didn't need a piece off of. He had a little minion whose name was Igor, because ha ha ha. Because that joke's never been said before. That's a really popular. Okay, so I've told you before, like my favorite one of my favorite comedies of all time is Young Frankenstein, right? Yeah, like in Frankenstein, there's Igor, you know. He helps Dr. Frankenstein or whatever. And I want to test something here. I was watching a thing. Sorry, I'm changing subjects real quick here. I was watching a tutorial made by the people who make God Hand Nippers, and they said you're supposed to put the edge of the dull side against the bottom, and then you're supposed to kind of like shave down with the sharp side, and that's supposed to give you like a perfect. Ow! That really works. That really, really works. That's amazing. But anyway, have you ever seen Young Frankenstein? You've seen Young Frankenstein. So there's the part in that movie where he's talking to Dr. Frankenstein. And Dr. Frankenstein is saying, "No, I'm sorry, you have the wrong man. I'm Dr. Frankenstein." He's like, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Oh, well, if you're Dr. Frankenstein, then I'm Igor." That's where that joke kind of came from. That movie is, I love that movie. It's, Gene Wilder is so, is so subtle in that movie. Some of the stuff he does is so, in a movie that's very like broad, kind of slapsticky, he does so many like subtle movements through the course of that movie that are so funny when you look back on it. Gene Wilder was the best. He didn't make enough movies, honestly. I'm trying to remember, is he still alive actually? He might still be alive. I know he's super old, but he might still be alive. But there's that scene at the beginning where I think one of his students asks him something about, bringing the dead back to life, and he gives this big yelly speech about like how that's against, science and blah 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 blah. And he gets so upset while he's making his speech, he brings his fist down on his leg. And he doesn't realize that he was still holding a scalpel when he does it. When he does it, he pounds his fist into his leg, and then like he just like pauses for just a millisecond, and like looks down at his leg, opens his hand to like confirm that there's a scalpel in his leg, and then closes his hand again real quick, and like it doesn't make a face, doesn't do anything. He just like looks at the camera and he just goes, "Class dismissed." It's just it's so good. It's so good. He's so good. I think that's the reason why I love that movie so much. It's just like his acting in it is so he goes from 0 to 20 like, or 20, like 20's fast. He goes from 0 to 100 like over and over and over again through that movie. He goes from being very quiet and whispery to just full on just yelling mad scientist, and it's amazing. That and Blazing Saddles. But Blazing Saddles, he plays like a completely different kind of character. He plays kind of like a soft-spoken outlaw cowboy. That's another movie that's really funny. But that movie... have you seen that? Have you seen Blazing Saddles? That movie... You could never make that movie again. Never, ever, ever. It's funny because it's a movie that, like, it's making fun of Westerns, but also at the same time making fun of racism, because it's about a town of basically racists who get a black sheriff and how they deal with that. And it's funny because it's such like for a movie that was made in the 70s, it's such kind of like an open-minded movie for that sort of thing. Like Mel Brooks, the guy who wrote the movie, would go to the comedian Richard Pryor. You know who Richard Pryor is, right? He was a famous black comedian from the time period. And he would go to Richard Pryor and ask him if the jokes were okay, because he didn't want to accidentally be racist, I guess. And Richard Pryor would be like, oh no, you gotta make it you gotta be a little bit more extreme than this, pal. And so he would go and rewrite the jokes to be even kind of more extreme, I guess you would say. But anyway, so there's a lot of, so that's what I'm saying, like you couldn't make a movie like that nowadays, because I think people would, instead of understanding that it's a movie that's making fun of racism, I think people would just think it's a racist movie. And then the funny part is even though it's this kind of like, well, it's a movie that's making fun of racism, there's like a whole ending scenario of that movie that completely makes fun of gay people. So it's like this open-minded movie about like, oh, look at these dumb racists, and then ends on a gay joke. Like, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, okay, so very open-minded, except for... Although even I don't even know if that's supposed to be on purpose, or if that's just another like very clever critique, because it totally could be, but I doubt it. I don't think people at the time were that open-minded. They were still trying to get over races, let alone same-sex relationships. But the joke is just about like a bunch of like girly men, so doing a Broadway show. It's a really funny movie. I'm sorry. I'll have to show it to you. Yeah, it's crazy too, because okay, like I honestly believe that Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles are two of the funniest movies ever made, period. Like, I honestly think that. And the thing is that Mel Brooks made both of those movies in the same year. That's crazy. Imagine being like, oh, I'm just gonna make two of the funniest, most memorable movies ever made, and I'm gonna write them both in 1 year and make them both in 1 year. That's so insane, and they're so completely different too. Like Young Frankenstein, I think is like a PG movie, and like Blazing Saddles is R, and yet somehow they're almost equally funny, but equally funny in like different reasons. I can't imagine having a mind like that where you're like I can write two whole movies for two different audiences and still be just as funny in both of them. Really was like a genius at the time for sure. Not every movie he made was great, but most of his movies are good. Some of them don't age super well, but and his son is very talented too. His son wrote one of my favorite books. It's a little bit better. Good enough. I love these sanding sticks. They're so good. I had such a hard time finding good sanding materials. I never found anything that I was super happy with, and these sticks, these Infinisticks, are great. They were great. The it.